Although Elizabeth avoided the practice, one of our suffragettes was not so lucky.
Letchworth had some interesting suffragettes, and probably the most important and best known one is a woman called Jane Short, and she was an embroideress, or she worked in Letchworth above where W.H. Smith is now. She was quite a quiet woman, quite single. So in 1912, Jane Short actually broke the post office windows in Hitchin, in Letchworth and in Baldock, and she was caught in Baldock with a satchel full of large stones. It was pretty obvious that she was the person who had been breaking the windows, and she admitted it. She came up before the Hitchin magistrates at that point and was sent to Holloway for quite a short time. The following year, she went down to London and broke a very large plate glass window in one of the West End shops. And this time, her sentence wasn't quite as lenient, and she went on hunger strike. And then later on, in 1913, she was chosen by the suffragettes, I think partly because she wasn't married, to do one of the more kind of radical acts, which was arson. And she and a fellow suffragette went down to Hampton in Middlesex on a very foggy night, and they actually set fire to a rather large house. Both women, as they were escaping, caught their clothes on barbed wire, so they had a bit of Jane Short's mackintosh and they had a little bit of cloth from the other woman's clothing, so it was pretty obvious who they were. And this time she was sent to Holloway Prison for a much longer period and was force-fed. Altogether she was force-fed 49 times, and it really ruined her health completely. And it ruined her mental health as well as physical health. And we know that Constance Lytton kind of paid for her to go to a sanatorium and kind of looked after her because she had been kind of broken by this forcible feeding.